Welcome to this explainer. Okay, so right at this very moment, sugar might literally be secretly hijacking your brain. No, seriously. Today, we're tracking a strict 30-day timeline to fix that exact neurological hijack. We'll break down the science, the history, and the kind of intense daily progression of what actually happens to your body and your mind when you cut the sweet stuff completely out of your life. Let's dive in.
So is sugar hijacking your brain? I mean, you might think that late-night snack or mid-afternoon candy bar is just giving you a necessary little burst of energy. But really ask yourself, are you actually trapped in a cycle of constant fatigue? Like, are you controlling your energy, or is the sugar controlling you?
If you're caught in that cycle, you know exactly what this is. Brain fog. Picture an exhausted, bloodshot brain desperately trying to focus on just a single task, completely overwhelmed by stress. That right there is the physical manifestation of what excess sugar does to our daily cognitive function. It literally clouds our thinking. And then, what happens when you try to stop? Well, you hit a wall. Hard. Withdrawal. We're not just talking about a mild craving here. It's the panic, the physical shaking, the intense anxiety when your usual sugar supply gets cut off. Your brain is quite literally demanding its next hit. But if you can actually push through that wall, you reach the ultimate destination, real, sustainable energy. We're aiming for a state of clear, natural vitality. Completely free from those chaotic spikes and devastating crashes that dictate so much of our daily lives.
Part 1. The Sugar Brain Hijack.
So to understand this, we've got to look at our brain's dopamine reward system. Every sugary snack you eat is quite literally like smashing a massive dopamine button in your brain. It triggers these huge explosions of feel-good chemicals. But here's the really insidious part, right? Your brain tries to balance this out by down-regulating, basically reducing its own receptors. It gets numb. And then, you have to consume more and more sugar just to feel a baseline level of motivation.
You end up totally trapped on this insulin roller coaster. On one side, you've got the sugar high, this sharp, false spike of motivation. But as we all know, what goes up must come down. That high is followed dramatically by inflammation, intense brain fog, and then the inevitable crash. Your blood sugar plummets, neurons misfire, and suddenly you actually feel even more exhausted than before you took a bite. Wild, right?
Part 2. How we got here. The thing is, our brains weren't wired for this environment at all. Back in ancient times, sugar was this rare, incredibly expensive luxury, pretty much limited to sugarcane farms. Then, by the colonial era, trade ships started moving it globally. Fast forward to the 1950s, and vintage soda ads completely normalized drinking it every single day. By the time the fast food explosion hit in the 1980s, sugar had morphed into this highly refined industrial tool. It was deliberately engineered to spike our cravings and artificially extend the shelf life of our food. Which brings us to our modern reality, the hidden sugar trap. Today, the average person consumes massive amounts of added sugar without even knowing it. Like, we aren't just talking about eating candy here. It's hidden in your pasta sauces, your everyday breads, your drinks. We're literally starting our mornings with breakfast cereals that have the exact same sugar profile as a decadent dessert. We are just constantly feeding the hijack.
Part 3. The withdrawal phase.
Okay, so there's this core rule of neuroplasticity. Your brain adapts to what you repeatedly feed it. Because it's so used to constant sugar, your hunger signals and neurological habit loops are going to fight back fiercely when you try to change the routine. Your gut-brain connection basically hits the panic button and immediately sounds the alarm.
Honestly, that first week is brutal. From days 1 through 3, your brain physically sweats through the withdrawal. You're hit with headaches, intense irritation, just constant hunger. And moving into days 4 through 7, the cravings actually get worse. Your dopamine system is practically begging you for its quick reward. It's just screaming for its usual fix.
Part 4. The Turning Point.
But if you can push through that agonizing first week, this fascinating neurological revelation kicks in. The fog slowly disappears. Those crippling afternoon crashes, they stop entirely. Your sleep quality dramatically deepens because your energy regulation is finally stabilized. And your mental focus really sharpens. It's almost like this cinematic shift in your mind, like stepping out of a dark, murky room and into a brighter, crisper reality.
You experience this profound shift from chaotic cravings to a beautifully stabilized mood. Your dopamine system resets, which gives you consistent, reliable energy. Plus, there's this incredible physiological side effect that happens right around now. Your taste buds actually regenerate their sensitivity. Yeah,
Suddenly healthy, whole foods naturally begin to taste much sweeter again, simply because your palate isn't being completely blown out by artificial industrial sweetness.
Part 5. The Sugarless Mind.
By the time you hit the 30-day finish line, the results are pretty remarkable. That constant internal noise simply vanishes. You finally achieve a calm, balanced dopamine system. Physical benefits start popping up too, like clearer skin and vastly deeper sleep. But the cognitive upgrade, that's the real prize. Your brain just feels quiet, it feels confident, and it completely stops chasing that artificial energy. You aren't forcing motivation anymore, you're just experiencing it, naturally.
Think back to day 1. The contrast is honestly staggering. When you compare the anxious, exhausted, sleepless nights of the past with the stable, peaceful, and highly focused state of a sugar-free mind, well, the difference is night and day. You've essentially evicted the hijacker and finally taken the controls back. So we'll end with this powerful truth: your brain remembers what balance feels like. Now, quitting sugar doesn't magically make your life perfect, but it absolutely removes the constant chaotic static from your mind. And it begs the question for all of us: are you ready to remove the noise, stop chasing artificial energy, and finally let your brain remember its natural balance? Just think about what you could achieve with a perfectly clear mind tomorrow, just by changing what you eat today.